Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be talking about the brand new game mode, the Fantastic Force Recruitment, my thoughts on it, what I think it could be for the future of MCOC, and just general issues, gripes, some of the positives, and yeah, let's get into it. First off, I want to talk about the design of the game mode. I think the luck aspect of it is a bit frustrating, and it's a bit weird. I think I think in general it's fine. It's a fun little like side quest to do. Um, it's fun. Again, it's just poker, but for MCOC. So obviously it's just gonna be pure luck. It can get really frustrating sometimes when you have like 4 or 5 matches in a row where you get nothing good whatsoever. But that's just how luck is, right? I think the points they're fine. I think generally the point like system is a like little off for some things because there are certain like sets of cards that are hard to get than others. Now again, that might just be my experience. They probably are working off of like actual like statistics and how rare exactly each one of these things are to get. They've probably done a lot of in-game testing and that sort of stuff. But I do think some of the like more common ones, like faction reaction. I wouldn't say this is the most common, but it's like not that hard to get. If you get like 2 or 3 of the same uh like faction on your first go, you have like a pretty decent shot at it. And again, that's like the third or fourth highest point value, which is kind of crazy. Um, but even then, I think it's relatively okay. Um, yeah, I think luck is a weird thing to add in a supposedly competitive solo format. I will be grinding a little bit of this during this week to see where exactly I end up. I'll probably go towards like 100, 120k points. But if I don't get anywhere like near the top like 2 or 1%, I'm just not gonna do it. Right? I already burned like half of my energy refills for playing from like 2 hours, and yeah, I mean, this is just an unsustainable amount of gameplay that I've been doing recently. But yeah, I think the fights are really just arena fights. You get like Fury nodes to make it go faster. Honestly, I think the game would probably be maybe not more fun, but better in general if you remove the fighting aspect. Because it just like sometimes it's kind of fun, but other times it's just super like boring and tedious. Because you know you're gonna win the fight eventually. I don't think I've lost a single fight in this, but like you know you're gonna win the fight. You know it's gonna take like 20 seconds of your time, and oftentimes you just don't have champions that are fun to fight or fun to use on offense. And then there's also champions that aren't fun to fight either. Again, that kind of just makes it more boring. Again, if this game mode had more of like a like skill ask, like when you're swapping the cards or something like that, and you had to fight like a really big defender with a lot of critical nodes, and you had to choose your attacker, and you had to like think through what you were going to do, like what your plan was. Maybe it'd be a lot more interesting. But again, I understand why they did it. We can't just like shove or open it to everyone, then shove these new players into fighting these incredibly difficult fights. So I understand that. Um, Again, I just think the fighting aspect for most people is probably going to be tedious or just there. I don't think anyone particularly loves it. I think the only person that I've seen that says they like love the fighting aspect is Vega. But again, I could just not be like up to date on everyone. Um, yeah, I think one of the bigger things, like I said, um, the fact that you have to get lucky for competitive rewards, right? Again, it's not like I'm gonna get them, right? Top 200 is at least the top 150 is gonna be filled with whales who spend at least $100 on units. Just they're gonna keep playing this and spamming and spamming and spamming. It would have just been nice if they added a leaderboard so we could at least see where we're at. because like I'm gonna be doing all this grinding to try to figure out where I'd be, but it would just be nice if I could just see where I was, right? I don't have to waste all this energy to get like top 10% when I could just see like, oh, I'm like 28,000th. I'm not gonna do this anymore, right? And again, that's all part of the monetary aspect of this game mode, right? They want people to be spending all their energy refills, um, so that they'd have to buy them, and then they can get more units out of people, which means that they have less for spending events, which means that more people are going to be willing to spend, and blah blah blah, right? Again, I just think it's like kind of weird. It just feels like the high evolutionary grind just feels like an arena grind, because again, it would probably honestly be cheaper to just buy the high evolutionary, right? Buy like 2 of his release packs, and then just open the crystals, and then maybe buy a few crystals along with that, right? It might be cheaper to do that than spend like 8 to 9 hours a day playing this, spending all your units on energy refills, trying to go for them. Now, again, we don't know the point totals for it. We don't know anything, right? So it could be more worth spending. It could not. But again, I just think a leaderboard would be nice, and yeah. Next, I want to talk about the rewards. I think having rewards for a game mode like this is not the greatest idea, but again, I'll take whatever's free, you know? Again, I think the 7-star shards are kind of terrible, but again, I'm not gonna complain. Free 7-star shards. There's like a I don't even know what percent it'd be, like a 2.5%, probably even lower percent of a tier 7 basic. Again, I mean, it's like, I don't really care that much, but again, it's better than nothing. And again, there's no skill ask to this game mode. I'm not wasting any revives on it. I'm not using any resources except energy. So I'm just trading in a bunch of energy refills for these rewards. Now, would I do that? That's a different question entirely. But again, we're not seeing like any new like energy like intensive content, like act content. We probably won't for another few months. I know the Crucible 2.0 is coming out next month. It'll probably be somewhat energy intensive. I wouldn't say anything crazy though. Probably like 3 or 4 energy refills for the path at most. Even that's like a stretch. To be honest, I think you might only need like 1 or 2. Now I like kind of think about it, yeah. Like those pieces of content are been like too energy intensive. But yeah, the rewards are fine. The ranked rewards they're good, but again, it's really just who's spending the most units on energy refills. So the vast majority of people are not going to get those. The second track where you have to like rank highly in the event to get points for the second track, those rewards are fine. Again, most people just aren't going to be able to get a lot of them. I think if you just play a decent bit, or you just hit the 10k milestone, you'll probably get the final like actual like reward before the Titan shards. And again, if you like grind a little bit more, you'll probably get a few of the Titan shards as well. Again, the rewards are fine, but I think if they want to keep this as a game mode, I think they just need to be adding like these useless rewards that nobody really cares about that much, or at the very least, like make it something that we care about but isn't like highly sought out for. For example, tier 6 basic and tier 3 alpha. If they had like 30 of those, 30 each in this, such a blessing. But again, they gotta make people spend somehow on events. I think that's really like the basic gist of it. It's fine. It's a fun game mode, but again, I just don't see any longevity in it, right? Because again, people are gonna figure out that they're not gonna be anywhere close to the rank rewards, and they're just gonna stop playing it. and they're gonna hit the 10K reward each week and be done with it, right? Um, I think it's fine as a game mode. It could have been so much more, right? There could have been so many like different asks, so many different like ideas implemented through this. Now I know they said they're probably trying new options and like what they can do with this like team building sort of thing, and I think it's definitely an interesting idea with a lot of potential, but I don't think they've fully tapped into it yet. One suggestion that I personally have, which Kabama's probably not going to see this video, but is to make it when you're picking your team, or make it so that you can pick your team, sort of like a battlegrounds sort of format, right? Rather than um, rather than just having a bunch of randomly selected champs, you get to like pick between like 3 or 5 different champions that you could want on your team, right? And again, there's still be some like elements of luck, but you'd be able to have some choice as well. And so it'd make it a lot more fun, a lot less RNG reliant, and also with that, I think you can make the fights harder to make choosing who you want to swap out for who a lot better of like an option, right? If you have a hard fight, you have to pick between, well, do I want to do this hard fight, or can I do this hard fight, and I have to switch, or do I have to switch these champions so I can get a better team? Now again, that might not be like the idea of the game mode. It might just be there to be an RNG simulator, especially for newer players, um, to like get into the feel of the game, right? But I think it was a bad idea to advertise this as a competitive solo event, or PvE event or whatever they advertise it as. But I think they could definitely go places with this. I think putting radiance in these rewards, also scaling the difficulty of getting that radiance, would be a lot like better, a lot more rewarding, and make it more like engaging overall. But again, it's also like a completely luck-based game mode. So again, adding like genuinely relevant rewards into this may not be the best idea, but they already have. So um, again, it kind of just is what it is. Um, yeah, I mean that's kind of really all I wanted to say. I think it does fine for what it wants to do, but I just don't see it really going anywhere in the future. They're like the hype has kind of already peaked. People have played it. A lot of people don't enjoy it. A lot of people do, but I just don't see it being like a relevant piece of content that people are going to be rushing to do every month, right? I think this is going to be an incursions type of thing where they're going to have to force people to play it every few months with like a saga chase, and you have to do it to get like little saga chase items for your like Mr. Fantastics or Nightcrawlers or whatever the hell they want to put out. And they'll add like a few spicy rewards in there, right? You get your 7-star 1 to 2 gem. Come and get your 2,000 Titan shards, guys. Come and get your 125 Awakening gem shards. And again, people will probably play it because we need those things. Now I'm gonna sort of segue into the Mysterium store. Again, as every other store in the game is, it's outdated. Again, right? This feels like something that they made 2 years ago, and they just forgot to release it. But, um, yeah. I mean, there's just, like, half of it is exactly the same from the old one. Now, again, they added 6 stones into it, which I am grateful for. But again, you're only getting, like, 4 per week. Which, in the grand scheme of things, that's 206 stones a year. But, again, it's not great either. And we just don't have enough. They're not giving us enough Mysterium to get anything but those 6 stones, right? Again, I want the tier 6 basic, I need the tier 3 alpha. They did increase the selectors from 1 selector to 2 of them, and so now you're able to get 2, not 1, 2 tier 6 basic each week from 1 selector. everyone start clapping. Wonderful change, Kabam, right? Now it would have been even better if we could afford it, which unfortunately we can't, because if you want the 6 stones, which are a lot higher value than tier 6 basic and tier 3 alpha, then you just can't afford it, right? Now I think there might be an additional side quest going on next week. I could be completely wrong about that, but again, if we're getting Mysterium from other ways, then yeah, it's fine. But if we're not, then this store update is just awful, because now I'm getting less tier 6 basic and tier 3 alpha, and I'm getting slightly more 6 stones. Again, 6 stones are nice, but it's just like, just put them into like content, right? Like, I don't want to like spend Mysterium on 6 stones when I could be getting something like tier 6 basic and tier 3 alpha, right? Now again, that's obviously my choice, but again, I don't think it should be a choice. I think I should be able to get all of it, considering there's nowhere else in the game you can get at that, right? Like, you either have to spend how little radiance you have on these materials for fairly expensive costs, right? Like, you have to spend 8,000 radiance for like it's 5,000 radiance for 8 tier 6 basic, and it's probably like 5,000 radiance for 5 like generic 6 stones. And again, that's fairly expensive, right? I don't want to spend my radiance on that, considering tier 7 basic is a lot more valuable than both of those. But there's nowhere else in the game where I can get that, so I have to spend radiance or spend Mysterium for like a tiny amount and lose out on whatever else I need. Now again, I'm just gonna trust Kabam and trust that they have it all figured out, and what they're doing is sustainable, and that we will be getting more tier 6 basic and tier 3 alpha soon. But yeah, the store is not much better. Again, this is literally just like someone asked ChatGPT to make the store 25% better, and asked them how would we do that, and this is what ChatGPT shoved out. It feels really lazy. It feels incredibly bad in general, which could be just fixed if you just gave us a little bit more Mysterium. But hey, it is what it is. It's not that big a deal, because nobody really cared about Mysterium in the first place, and what little we got out of it now is slightly better. So, a buff's a buff, man. Can't complain that much. Alright, I'm gonna leave it off there. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.